Well, I understand you had your first mass last week. Tito said he was there
Yes.
and added a little flair to your first mass. How did you feel about
He
this?
did indeed. I
Explain
hear
what
that he
happened.
was the ringleader of conspiracy there, but yeah, at this massive Thanksgiving, I guess Tito had gone and he went and got these. He had heard a story about friars at a either a deacon or a priest first time preaching, and they held up scorecards after the homily. And so its spin on that is he went and he got these pieces of paper and some Sharpies, and so passed them along the row with all the other friars, and they all wrote numbers on it. And so when I did the kind of the reverence at the recessional, bowed to the altar and turned around, they all held up these scorecards. And so it took me a second, because I was looking out, and then I looked at them, and it took me. And people say they could tell when it registered, in my face, like my face changed
Yeah.
when it registered.
It did.
So, but it was really funny. It was a really kind of funny, like fun kind of touch to the mass there, where it's just like, okay, there are my brothers, So it was fun. It was cool.
I was inspired by a pastor who I had done some summer assignments with when another friar friend of mine had just gotten ordained a deacon at his first, official preaching mass, the mass that he officially preached at as a deacon. The parishioners actually were the ones who handed out scorecards because they heard he was going to be preaching. And I thought that was such a great idea. I held on to that. And this was the first opportunity. I was like, oh, this is perfect because Jason's going to love this.
I did. No, it was funny. I was told too that you did it like 3 minutes before mass. Like you went
Yeah.
and like you went back to the friary, grabbed that stuff, and came back just like really quickly. And so
Really quickly.
which makes it even
You think
funnier.
Tito would plan this weeks ahead of time? No. This is-
That's fair, yeah. But no,
I was like, oh yeah, I want to do this thing.
Yep.
I'm curious.
Exactly.
I'm
No,
curious who the Russian judge was. Did anyone give you like a 4.5 or something?
Yeah, there was like a 3. No, I'm just kidding. I think it was actually they were pretty generous. They were pretty generous.
Okay, that's
I don't
nice.
know what they dinged me for, but there's some 9.5. I think it was a 9.5. There's a
I gave it 9.5.
9.66666 or repeating
Okay,
um,
sure.
So like there was some very precise grades actually. There was like a 9.78 or something like that. It was
Yeah.
So like I got granular. I didn't see the feedback exactly, but yeah, I'll have to go back and review it. So
Well, what did you think? What was the first mass like? Because I know that I was kind of terrified. It's like I knew how to do
yeah.
it, but I was like, what's going to go wrong?
Oh, I was I was super nervous. I mean, you practice masses, right? Like you go through that, you go through the missal over and over again, but you're like, oh, this counts, like I'm an ordained minister now. This, like this is for
Yeah.
real. And
Yeah.
it was really cool. I was terrified at the beginning, and I think I was really shaky. I was really nervous. But after a couple lines, I sort of got into it, and then it felt more and more comfortable. I didn't have to preach, thankfully. There's a tradition in some areas where somebody else preaches the first mass, and so I asked Aaron Richardson, another friar who I live with and I'm tight with. So he preached it and he did a great job. So that's like
did.
something off my plate, which was nice. But yeah, it was really wild, especially when it came to the words of institution, right? When you're consecrating the elements. And I remember like there was this one time, like I remember grabbing the chalice and this thought flashed through my mind of, I'm picking this up and it's wine and I'm gonna put it down. And it's not gonna be wine anymore, right? Like the next time I put it down, it's gonna be like, which is still mind blowing. I still get chills thinking about that. Like it's just such a cool thought, and such a gift, such an honor to have. And so, but yeah, it was just an awesome moment. It was at St. Camillus, which is just a wonderful parish, a really cool, really supportive community there. So tomorrow for the Feast of the Ascension, I'm going to be celebrating for the first time here, and then this weekend I'll celebrate at my home parish. So yeah, I got a lot of lot to I still need to get into a rhythm, a little bit. It's still kind of it's not quite natural to me. It still kind of has that feel of like, wow, okay, I'm doing this and it's real, like it's a very surreal feeling right now, but I'm looking forward to sort of getting into the rhythm of things. But it's just what a privilege, what an honor. I hope I never lose that sort of awe that I had,
Sure.
when I'm up there presiding, is because it's just such a cool, blessed feeling,
Yeah. But I will say, I'm going to give you some feedback. You did a great job, first of all.
Thank you.
your
live on air.
You said
Let's hear
you
it.
said you were
Just like we
shaky at the
agreed to
beginning.
when I gave you the 20, so that's good.
That's right. You said you felt shaky at the beginning. That didn't come across at all.
Oh, good.
As a matter of fact,
Better
your
actor than
introduction.
I give myself credit for it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Your introduction was like really good. It brought us it highlighted what was happening, brought us into the mass, and prepared us for the liturgy, and it explained like why you weren't going to be preaching. Aaron would be preaching. It was really well done.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
And other people commented like it looked like you looked good up there. You looked confident up there.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's all fake.
Yeah, no, I know.
Smoke and
I was
mirrors.
very nervous. I was,
Yeah.
but to your point though, it's important when you're a presider, like you're leading the people in prayer, and so I think it is really important to try to embody that, and so that's I think if that came across at all, I'm humbled because that's all prayer, because I was really praying up a storm the night before. I did not sleep much, I only slept a couple hours because I got up at like 4:30 and I was just nervous about it. But yeah, that's all the Holy Spirit guiding me. So, but I appreciate hearing that, because that is thank you. I really do appreciate that. Yeah.
I don't know, Tito, what your experience is like, but for me, the first one was very powerful, but it was performance. It was like, please, God, let me say the words right. Let me not make a fool of myself. And as I got better at it, I got used to it, and I could start praying with it. And I really felt like into it. And then you do it so many times that you just start doing it and you forget to pray, and then you come back to the middle. Like there's that kind of tension on both sides between performance and over performance. And I think that happy medium is, it's okay if there's a mistake. It's okay if it's just going to go as it goes, because I'm just saying this prayer. And I think that's a beautiful thing when you get to that point.
No, I would agree with that. I mean, when I first started, I was also terrified. My very first Mass, I got to be honest, as I was doing the prayer of consecration, I was filled with doubt. Like, do I really have the authority to do this? Am I really...
The magic come out of my fingers.
I mean, it was a little bit of an imposter syndrome, maybe, at the time. And I remember talking about that with one of the other friars. And I told him, I was like, I doubted. I was like, do I really have this? And he said, yes. He said, you do. Not just because you were ordained, but also because as a community of believers, we believe you do. And that sense of community, that sense of fraternity, and of that our faith in each other helps us lift each other, really impacted me when he said that. I was like, oh man, it was a very powerful statement.
Yeah. I think too, like something that's important, like I try to avoid language. Maybe this is my, Franciscan sensibilities or whatever, but I try to avoid language that says like, oh, my first Mass or whatever. Right. Or it's just like, because it's Jesus's Mass, I just take care of it for an hour, right? Like,
sure.
It's not like I try to avoid like doing ownership of it, because it's like, it's really like Christ is working through me for this, for the good of the people, right? And you're sort of, when your heart's open to that, then that's I think where it all happens, right? And so, but yeah, it is very humbling. Like to that point, what you said about the community. One of the friars mentioned to me is just like, what was really powerful for me was, after I was ordained, like before I was ordained, I had these practice masses, right? And then after I was ordained, like it was, like these masses were like legitimate. Like I was ordained, I was a priest and stuff like that, whereas before I wasn't. And he said like the faith of the people, that was different. Like it was categorically different from before and after ordination. It's just like, it is like a really powerful thing, and just like that understanding of the community is such a crucial thing when it comes to our role as priests within the church.